My name is Margaret Ann Windsor, and I was kidnapped in 1941 and brought to this country, to Moulton, Alabama, to the backwoods in a pigsty, and a family that were less than the Ma and Pa Kettle or the Hatfields and McCoys. Plus, they were, well, it was a pigsty, that's all I'll say. I'm showing this on CNN this morning. And these are called the Dreamers, that their families entered the United States illegally. And, when I've tried or have told what's ongoing and done to me, I put it up on Facebook and YouTube. Nobody wants to hear it. The press won't touch it because it's Rockefeller controlled. Illuminati, the ones that kidnapped me and brought me here. My father's Edward VIII that never married Wallace Simpson. All of it was a lie, character assassination. He didn't take orders from the United Nations, which a little later after my kidnapping became the global government, the UN, when they invaded Great Britain on illegal treaties, illegally took down my father. There was an addendum. My dad was married to Claudia Ruth O'Keefe Windsor from Madison, Wisconsin, and he never married Wallace Simpson. It was a total lie. She was an American spy. A double was used and took my father's identity. There was an addendum to the forced abdication in 36. And my mom was school teacher. Georgia O'Keefe, the artist, is my aunt. So the illegal George VI, my own uncle, helped take down his own brother. His wife, Elizabeth's mother, is a Rothschild. So you got the very people that kidnapped me, the global government, that took out my father and kidnapped me. Joe Kennedy was appointed ambassador by Roosevelt. You got the Roosevelts, and then every president since then and Secretary of State, probably Congress, I'm sure, knows about my kidnapping, knows about taking down my father and who my mother is. And Elizabeth certainly does. There was an addendum, and I am the legal heir, Victoria II, to the British Crown throne. Elizabeth, when I was born, because of the addendum, which was legal, they put my father back as my guardian. So we were back in Buckingham Palace. So I was there for a while of my 2 years with my parents before my own uncle. Elizabeth's always known. She was 15 years old when I was kidnapped from Buckingham Palace. We coexisted in Buckingham Palace, evidently, until they took me out. So they took my father out. That did away with, they even stole his identity. What they've done to me in this country, and my sons Mark and Scott, who are heirs after me. Not William and Kate, not any of that traitors. They're illegal. Now, they should be prosecuted. They're war criminals. Now I want to get back to this, and God knows and that's probably the only person that can get this prosecuted, and what's happened to Great Britain. United States are such great friends, they invaded, installed their own monarch to suit themselves, and brought me over here and tortured me in ways, and my sons that I hope are shown. My son, and I mean, this is glossing over, you don't hear the truth of the torture done to us, the illegal acts. My son Mark, who's heir, he worked his way through and went to a college there. It's not your Harvard or anything like it. It's a local college in Georgia. My son Scott, I hope God shows what was done to us. Now then, you've got William and Kate over here. They've got another baby to ensure that they have access. Illegal they are, but I guess nobody wants to live my life. I'm the real monarch. I guess a lot of people don't care that my father, a beautiful, decent man that has been defamed and lied about, who loved our country. When I say our, I am British. My mom was an American. She married my father. She was the Queen of England in 36, still should be. Winston Churchill burned the files. He helped Roosevelt, and Eisenhower was, so you can go on from there. He even lived in the White House for a while, the traitor. So these people, it would ruin, telling the truth, it would ruin these people's reputation by telling the truth. Yet it was okay to ruin my father's reputation and take him down with lies, and then kidnap his only daughter. My mom was a school teacher, a decent, good lady. Look at the scum that's sitting there pretending to be a monarch when she's a traitor, and Charles and his wife, and then you got William and Kate, total frauds. Now back to the picture I just took. My sons had a hell of a life here, and what's been done to me, the laws broken and the torture is beyond belief, and to my country because of the kidnapping and the takedown by the United States and part of my own people. You're talking about illegals here. My mom was an American, so I suppose that would make me, if I was given my name back, hell, I don't even get to use my real name. I have to use a dead twin's name that they gave me when they kidnapped me and put me in the pigsty, and I bet this isn't going up, but I want to get it up. Look at all these people. You know, when I have been called every name in the book. Now I'm a hag from out of the woods. Well, yeah, they put me in the woods. So because their parents came here, and you could go back and assess what made their parents come here, okay, but you aren't, and they're here illegally. So their children are illegal. All these bunch of children feel they've gone to Harvard. They're talking about them going to Harvard, all this education they've gotten free in their jobs, and boo-hoo-hoo, to deport them. My God, they should have never been allowed to stay. Had the law been addressed, the immigration laws here in this country, back when it happened, ask yourself why it wasn't. Now it's one big mess, and you're all pitying CNN, which is a lying bunch of scumbags out of Atlanta who should know every bit of this. I've been to them. I've been to all the media, the local media, and I'm on YouTube, and you have destroyed my life, my children's, my parents, and Great Britain, the Aussies, Canadians, New Zealand, and some of the other that's left, the American Virgin Islands. Can you believe it? They made us fight against ourselves, and they held us hostage. So now then, you're going to say that these kids can stay here, the dreamers, because they were here illegally, and they've been allowed to reap the benefits, and if they live here, go on living here, Social Security, etc., etc. I have lived in hell. The money that's come into this country because of my kidnapping in different forms, technology, NASA, you name it. God in heaven, what kind of country are you? In Sessions, he's from Alabama. You could address the crimes committed against me there in Atlanta, especially Alabama, and then up here in Virginia. And you haven't. And I thought he was a decent man. Of course, he's kind of tied up right at the moment, but I agree with Trump on a lot of things. Some things I don't, because I think this country needs to pay for its crimes, and all these people that want to be would suddenly flee and go back somewhere. So that's all I got to say. You didn't give a damn about me and my kids and what you stole, and I have repeatedly gone to, well, you killed Anastasia right up here in Charlottesville. She's my cousin. So there you go. There's your media that's controlled by the people that kidnap me, and all these good-hearted Americans that can't wait to go and dish out all this to Houston and to Florida that's coming up. And they wouldn't give me the time of day except to, well, they've done just about every everything in the book to me that's illegal and torture and pain. And then to get these dreamer kids up here who have no right. I was brought here a hostage. My mom is an American, so you could say, you know, and my children were born here because I'm their mom, you know, where else are they going to be? They're British, they're English, but they didn't get the college, they got hell. And that's all I have to say. While you sit here, CNN, you friggin' bunch of lying scumbags, the media that's controlled by the Rockefellers and Rothschilds and Kennedys that kidnapped me.